Hey, I'm Amanda from Trifecta Fitness. We're proud to be Clarksville's new Get Fit headquarters. Trifecta Fitness is a state-of-the-art spin and strength training studio. Our spin studio is truly one of a kind in this area, complete with 20 state-of-the-art live fitness bikes and an incredible sound system. Our strength training is done in small groups of 6 or fewer, and all of our strength and spin classes are scalable for every level of experience. Come see us in the heart of Clarksville, just behind MAPCO at the corner of Old Trenton Road and Wilma Rudolph Boulevard. Call us for more info at 931-542-6265 or download our Trifecta Fitness app for a full list of upcoming classes.
This is a message from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Got a question about your VA benefits, healthcare, or eligibility? Go to va.gov, where you can access a new interactive chatbot to ask questions 24/7. One can still browse va.gov for information, but you can now ask specific questions to the chatbot, like what's the PACT Act? How do I apply for disability benefits? What's my claim status? You can access the new feature through va.gov's Contact Us page. Then click on the Start Chat button. The chatbot will continue to improve veterans' access to information about the benefits and services they've earned. This is one way VA is offering seamless and secure access to its online resources.
All right. Welcome back.
MisFitNation. MisFitNation. The MisFitNation show.
We are a show founded by a veteran and hosted by 2 veterans and a military spouse. Our mission is to get people to tell their stories to the world. If you're an author, share your tips with the MisFitNation. If you're a musician or an actor, our audience needs to know how they too can get into the business. Coaches, we love our coaches. Come on and share your tips with the MisFitNation to help them become better versions of themselves. If you are a corporate leader or an entrepreneur, come on and show how you did it and how hard you have fought for success. If you are a veteran, first responder, or Gold Star family, we would love to have you come on and share your story with the MisFitNation. We always have time for you. If you're feeling down, alone, or starting to see the darkness, stop. Think about those who are around you. You are not alone. You will be missed. If you feel like your problems will be a burden to those in your inner circle or feel embarrassed, dial 988. If you are a veteran, take option 1. We need you to keep pushing forward. Don't make a permanent solution to a temporary problem. If you are a new listener, welcome to the MisFitNation show. Be sure to subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast app. Also on our YouTube channel at @the_MisFitNation. Subscribe and click the bell to keep you up to date on our latest episodes and all of our news. You can also find us on Heroes Media Group and About Face Radio. Now, let's get to the show!
Episode 3 with Thomas the Tool LaMonica, with more questions coming in from the audience. How are you doing today, Dad?
Fine. Just fine and dandy.
You getting more comfortable in front of the microphone now and the light?
Oh, yeah. The light.
So these questions mostly come from your favorite daughter, Gwendolyn. So her first question was, how did family react to marrying an Irish woman?
Oh, my God. Well, the Irish end of it called me names. My mother and father they just accepted it. My sister, no. My older sister, Ann, didn't think I should have married her. But everyone else, yes. I'd say everyone along with it. In fact, after 3 years or 4 years, my mother told my sisters that my wife made better tomato sauce and meatballs better than them.
Oh, wow.
Which was, a compliment you never from an Italian cook.
Hopefully that answer satisfies Miss Gwendolyn. All right. Her second question was, what did little Poppy do for a living after the accident, after his lung diagnosis and such?
He worked for the Board of Education. He Well, they repaired fences. He did all kinds of repair work on. He's on a truck that traveled all the city, and on Montgomery Street, at the end, going down towards the river, used to be a high school field there, and at least once a week, some drunk would go through the fence, and his job and the other guys was to put the fences together again. So it was a forever job there, and they also bought supplies to the other schools. And he was listed as a custodian, yet at the end he was a custodian up on North Street, and he was operating a buffer and hit a patch of water, and he flipped over and busted his collarbone, and he had to retire after that. There was a settlement, I don't know, 12 grand or something like that. Whatever it was, they only wanted to give him a couple of thousand and pay him off every 3 months, because they said the lawyer who I know, this lawyer Massey, says, if you give a man that kind of money all at once, sometimes they run away. They leave their family. So I went down to the Board of Ed because I was working with, so I knew everybody that had the power to be, and I told them the story, and they said, how much is the check? I told them, they looked it up. Oh yeah, brought me a check, the whole brought it home. Here you go, Ma. Nice to have connections.
So, Gwen has always poked and prodded about the family and the mob and such like that. She wants to know, why did you not join that side of the Italian life?
I knew too many of them, and they were very dangerous people. And it was no lies that people just eliminate other people, and you don't even know why.
It's not a life living, you have kids.
No. I was offered take over General Square. You can have the numbers, and they even told me what to do. They said after you collect $300, take it home and hide it, and then go back out, because if you get caught with 300, it's just a small gambling charge. Once it gets over $301, then they hit you as a bookmaker, and you go to jail for at least a year. So they knew all the ins and outs, knew all the people, but still it was too dangerous, and too many people disappeared. They own alone in a month, 7 people disappeared that were involved, and not the life they wanted.
We talked about that a little yesterday with the marshes and stuff like that, and the fields around like Liberty Park and stuff like that. So, Mom's Gwen's next question was, knowing that you worked many jobs in your life since you were 15, 14 years old, what was the favorite job you had, and why?
My favorite, I always told my wife, if I could make a little more money, was working at the airport. I had Frick come in. Well, I started out as a truck driver. Then from the truck driver, I became the manager, then the night manager. And I used to have to list everything that was being sent out to every airline, and I would have to send what they call the telewriter exchange to every airport that we sent packages to. And that was great. You'd type it out, and it would come out on a tape, and you feed the tape into this turnstile thing and press enter, and it would sound like a ticket tape, and go to that airport and let them know that, okay, Houston, tonight you got 4 bundles of cloth going from Jersey City to you, and arrive at 10 o'clock tonight. I did that to 5, 6 airports a night. And the biggest thing was learning all the code words, all the code letters, SFO, San Francisco, EWR for Newark. How did you get that? I have no idea.
BNA for Nashville.
Yeah, I enjoyed that so much. I guess because I was his own boss, and
kind of on your own.
Got to meet people from all over this country.
Hopefully that satisfies the fairer one of my life. What part of Italy were Nanny and little Poppy's families from?
Well, my father's family was from Sicily. My mother was from a family. Her mother was from Naples. Her father was from Calabria.
So it's
That's
basically Sicily too.
Yeah, close to it.
And what was her maiden name?
Vazano, Vazzano. Uncle Joe Vazano, who was involved with, he was actually a cousin that married his cousin.
Oh, wow.
And he was a cousin, my mother's sister. And he married her. They had two sons, Joseph and Anthony.
Was he the Uncle Joe that came to my graduation? Gave me an envelope?
Probably.
Interesting. Never knew who he was. So Pisano from Sicily, Calabria, and Naples.
Mhm.
How did you feel when I joined the Army and, of course, when Tom joined the Navy?
Tommy joined the Navy aggravated me because he wouldn't try for college. He wanted to go, gave me the list of the different colleges, and he said, "Oh, it's accepted to the," I forget what Canisius, I think it was, upstate by Buffalo, and they have all this underground stuff because it snows so much, and it would have to be room and board, and you need a car and tuition, and it would come out to $15,000 a year. No, $14,000 a year. I was making $15,000 a year. He said, how do you expect me to do that with the rest of the family? Oh, all my friends are going. I said, yeah, because they're working their way through. And she worked her way through and paid her own tuition. He wouldn't do it. So he joined the Navy. With you, I thought you would stay with college. I didn't think you, I thought you were going to make, an officer. You should have, but I think you got screwed a little bit. It was right for you. It worked.
This one here, she wants to know what the scariest thing that ever happened to you in your life.
Mm-hmm. The thing that scared me the most was I'm working, the car pulls up, and Tommy, you got an emergency. Guess what? Your house is on fire, you want to go to the hospital. Oh! Your mother had jumped out the window with
Michelle?
It was weird because they had a company car before I left. They yelled, wait a minute. They pushed stuff money in my pocket. We got paid every 2 weeks at that time, and it was the day before payday. So I haven't gotten paid in 2 weeks. They said, just in case. And I never thought of money. And I get up there, and fire engines were all still in. So I was like, oh, your wife's in a baby and husband. And fire chief was sitting on there. He says, don't worry about nothing. He said, come on, I'll take you. I said, well, I got the company card. I'll take it. He took me. He says, they're on fireman's welfare. I said, what the hell is fireman's welfare? He said, well, she didn't take a pocketbook with she jumped out the window. So they paid for everything.
Oh, wow.
I never knew they had that in Jersey City. But you become a ward of the club, and they pay you medical bill.
Wow. And what house was that?
Medical center, and it was on Cottage Street.
That was a cottage house.
Yeah. We had to stay out for 5 days. The smell was horrible. And me and your mother, I think, and Tommy, Michelle went to Aunt Ann's house, and 2 days later, he comes home and says, Daddy, Aunt Ann cursed.
She cursed like a sailor.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, what was your first car you had, and of course, what was your favorite car that you ever had, or one that you wanted that weren't able to get?
Well, my first car was a Chevy Impala convertible. I loved it. The one I always wanted to get, and I got, was the Jeep.
Really?
Yeah, the Jeep.
Nice.
And if it wasn't for that jerk running, making a left and cut me off, I'd probably still be riding around it.
What color was your Impala?
Sky blue.
With a white top, I'm guessing.
No, all blue.
All blue.
The red top was blue. The car was blue.
What year was that?
1960.
1960 Impala. Then you, of course, had a 79 Impala. Have we got the cop car?
Yeah.
Stayed in the Impala family for a little bit there.
Yeah.
And finally,
I had a Malibu in between that.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. No, we didn't have a car for a long time, though. That.
Yeah.
We borrow cars or we rent cars.
Yeah.
What is your childhood memory?
One of the things I always think about, I was like 15, I guess. Went crabbing down in Bayonne with my father. And a guy comes over and says, "Oh, you got a catch, kid. Can I take a picture of it?" I said, "Yeah." Picked it up. It's the biggest crab they've ever seen down here. And I held it up. I know who he is. Take a picture, next day it's in the paper. But before that, I was the king of Maywalk. And I'm from Jersey Journal.
What is that?
It's a German thing, but I'm Italian, so I was with a German girl, Meg Wetzel. And she was the queen and I was the king. We were picked by this guy on Laidlaw Avenue. He had a house and a big lot next to it. And we had to walk all around it. Me and her, she was dressed in like a bridal gown, and I was dressed in my communion outfit. And we were the king and queen and got our pictures of the front page. And she was the last one to take care of your grandfather. And she was the head nurse in the hospital.
Wow. So you still seen her even way after you were married?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
She never moved out of the neighborhood. She married a friend of mine, Jimmy Rooney.
Kept it all in the friend circle. That's good. You talk about the Maywalk. In Jersey City, you have a parade pretty much every month, I think, for some celebration or another.
Yeah.
Was that part of your desire to stay there that long because that community feel all the parades and celebrations?
Yeah. Even as a kid, I marched one time as a Naval cadet. Wow. And I forget the next organization. Oh, Jersey City Recreation. We carried this big flag where, you hold on this way and 30 people all around it. And we went from General Square up to Persian Field, and everybody threw coins. At the end of the day, I think it was starting to get heavy. And then when you got to that, it was, what do they call it? Armistice Day? Americanization Day, I think. It was something they don't have anymore now. When you get up there, that's where, the parade, the bands would go around the field, but all form in the center of the field. Say there was a dozen bands, they'd all be there and have a battle of the band. What a sound. Oh, my God.
That's what
That anymore either. Well, it was free. And there was always food, sandwiches, or hot dogs and soda. Politician was giving them out. It was great.
And every school had a good band at that time. So
yeah. Yeah, I joined the Jersey City Recreation Band. And they said, "What do you want to be?" I said, "I want to be a drummer." "Okay, come on." Put me in the back. I'm the shortest guy and give me his bass drum. I couldn't get over it. That thing was so big. They said, "You just keep stepping, and as you step, you hit it. Boom, boom, boom." Oh, but then they sat me down after I did that a couple of times. They sat me down. They showed me how many rudiments there are to play drums. I maybe added 16 rudiments. I maybe learned 2 or 3, and I stopped.
So you were in high school, and Nanny wouldn't let you run track because exposing your heart and stuff were making your heart work harder.
Yeah.
But how did she feel when you joined the Army?
She was all right. My father cried.
Really?
Oh, yeah. We got the new armor and I'm looking at it. Look at it. It's cold. Oh, man. Yeah, that bothered me.
I remember he always had the Civil Air Patrol helmet.
Oh, yeah. It must be worth a ton of money today, wherever it went.
Where that went, and because he said he couldn't, he was too young for World War I.
Yeah, too
old for World War II, so he had to do his part.
He was what they called an air raid warden.
Yeah. And
he had the big white hat. Steel pot it was. Steel pot. And he'd have to go around and make sure everybody put their lights out because you're going on the planes to see where you were.
I wonder where that helmet went. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Any of those stories that you and your dad used to do when you were a kid?
Well, fishing, crab, and the last time I went with him was with his Goomba, Al. And I smoked at the time because I had just come out of the Army. And I didn't have cigarettes. I went with him. He was up in Edgewater. And he says, well, you want one of his cigars? So I took one of his Italian ropes. I thought I was going to die. You're trying to drag it. It's like trying to, get something through a piece of wood. I'll smoke them things. Used to call them guinea ropes.
I never used to chew on them all the time.
Yeah, oh yeah. He had a tooth in his mouth. He only lost one tooth, and he pulled it himself. He got an infection. He went to the dentist, and they said, "Well, I will give you a shot and let the swelling go down, and then come back in 2 days." He comes home, tells my mother, and she says, "Where are you going?" I was like, "I'm gonna pull it out." He said, "I can't stand this pain anymore." We got pliers and pulled the tooth out. So whatever it was, he went to the hospital. His teeth were like a green. And the nurse says, "Oh, we're gonna have to scrape his teeth out." The doctor says, "Oh, don't do that." He says, "Those teeth are preserved." He says, "He doesn't have a cavity, and they're all perfect teeth, just that they're ugly looking,
Right.
but they were all perfect teeth. They're all his own teeth."
All from chewing on the guinea ropes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they told him. It was just coated with that. I don't know what it was called, but it was terrible stuff.
I remember he'd chew them all the time and drink that wine.
Oh,
The
yeah.
teddy bear for wine next to the chair to keep us quiet. He'd give us some to stay away from him and drink that so we'd be quiet. Don't remember what kind of wine that was.
Burgundy.
Burgundy.
He made it a couple of times. I couldn't stand the smell of that. I don't know why. I guess because I'd be out playing ball, come home, and him and my uncle would make the wine. The smell was all through the house.
We said Nanny would have the gallon jug somewhere important.
Oh yeah, you always have to have a gallon. They loaded it 2 gallons at a time when they stopped making it.
It's a rough life right there. And Gwen's biggest question is, when are you going to come and stay with us?
Yeah, I keep saying that in my mind, saying I'm gonna go. I don't know.
I don't know if she has any more questions, but I think we're good for today. So thanks, Dad.
Oh, I'm gonna play Instilled tonight.
There you go.
Alexa.
In October 2019, Arlington, Texas was chosen to be the home of a new national museum, unlike any other. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a unique home of military history. The 100,000 square foot museum will house exhibits, archives, and artifacts relating to the 3,500 U.S. troops who have been awarded the medal, the nation's highest honor for valor in combat. The museum will have 31,000 square feet of galleries dedicated to U.S. troops who have received the award. The museum's CEO, former Navy SEAL and NASA astronaut Chris Cassidy, said the museum will focus on education as much as preservation. The building will have 5 areas dedicated to Medal of Honor winners from the Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard. The main gallery will be located in a central plaza under a 25,000 square foot slab of steel, which will appear to be suspended in midair. It will be supported by 5 pillars. Black Rifle Coffee is a corporate sponsor of the museum, as are the Dallas Cowboys. The museum's board also includes over a dozen major corporations and 6 Medal of Honor recipients, including David Bellavia, Patrick Brady, and Britt Slabinski. Army Staff Sergeant Bellavia was awarded the medal for clearing an entire house by himself on November 10, 2004, as a squad leader in support of Operation Phantom Fury in Fallujah, Iraq. He killed 4 enemy fighters and wounded a 5th in close quarters battle. Army Major General Brady flew and coordinated the evacuation of 51 seriously wounded men during a firefight in Vietnam in January 1968. Slabinski, a Navy SEAL chief and team leader, led a rescue team of SEALs during Operation Anaconda in Afghanistan in March 2002. Slabinski and his team flew to a mountaintop ambush site to rescue Petty Officer First Class Neil Roberts, who had fallen from the back of a helicopter. Slabinski led the team through almost constant combat against an entrenched Taliban force. Along with the board members, former presidents Jimmy Carter, Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Barack Obama serve as honorary directors. The museum is expected to open to the public in late 2024.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Did you serve in the military? If so, you can obtain a free lifetime pass to more than 2,000 federal recreation sites. These sites are located across more than 400 million acres of public lands, including national parks, wildlife refuges, and forests. The lands host activities to fit any lifestyle: hiking, biking, fishing, camping, and much more. Gold Star families are also eligible for these free lifetime passes. Plus, they cover entrance fees for a driver and all passengers in a car, or up to 3 additional adults at sites that charge per person. Obtaining one is easy. Just go to the National Park Service website, nps.gov, or the National Park Service app.
Thanks for checking us out and being a part of the Misfit Nation show. Don't forget to visit our website at themisfitnation.com. That's themisfitnation.com. Check out all our past episodes and get some of the great Misfit Nation gear for you and your family. As always, be humble, stay hungry, and keep hustling, because we are
Misfit Nation. Misfit Nation.